So, okay, good morning, everyone. So, good morning to Madam Audrey. So, okay, teachers and all my beloved students. So, okay, so today we are going to have the second slot, the second slot with Madam Audrey. So, okay, for paper one, reading paper. So, without further ado, I now invite the speaker, Madam Audrey, okay, to share her tips and technique in answering paper one, right, reading paper SEM. So welcome, Madam Audrey.
Okay, a very good
Oh,
morning, everyone.
Madam,
Yes,
how about the 5S?
the what?
The 5S. Do you want to see it?
Five A's,
Yeah, the
five
one that
S's. Yes,
the
yes,
one.
yes. Can you show the slide for that? I would like to see. But in the meantime, all the students, very good morning to every one of you. Can you put a good morning emoji? Yeah. Pariza, can you show me the mind maps that they did?
Okay.
Thank you.
Sakit pula suara.
Today macam off sikit kan? My
Yeah.
connection pun terdengar just now. I don't know why my camera not working.
Mm.
Can you see me? Cannot kan?
Yeah.
I'm trying to work the camera. It doesn't want to work. Sayang. Let me keep trying. Good morning everybody. Got butterfly lagi, Hendrik pagi. Laurel, what is that? Oh, it's a sun and a mountain. You guys are very good at looking for emojis, huh? Why, Katrina? Why are they ghosts? Jorquiliov, the dove is a sign of death. No lah, it's actually a sign of peace. Surprise. Yes, Jeremy, we meet again. I don't know what's wrong with my camera. It doesn't want to switch on. Okay, can I have a look at it? Wow, you guys are doing great. There he was dangling from the chandelier with a shattered wine bottle pierced through his sternum up till his right clavicle. I had a glimpse of the culprit dressed in a tuxedo with a scar marked on the top side of his hand. Wow. The pungent smell of the blood started to fill up the room as soon as I entered. The rotten smell of his flesh began to expel highly toxic methane gas due to the rapid decomposition. Wow. After what he had done to him, I must seek to capture this culprit whose heart is as cold as ice. That whiff of cold presence gives me the heebie-jeebies. Wow, you can even use heebie-jeebies. Jorkuliuf, I can't pronounce your name, but that's a very cute rabbit. In disbelief, the pizza man was caught red-handed and was forced to come clean as to what happened at the crime scene. No matter what the pizza man said, he got a taste of his own medicine when the judge was presented with convincing evidence. And the last one, roaring thunderstorms were nearby, and it almost felt like the house was going to experience an in-house earthquake. The wind was howling like rabid wolves hunting during a full moon. Wow, definitely. If you can write like this during the exam, you don't really need me to teach you anything anymore. This is much better than a
Um,
lot of than what a lot of teachers also cannot write like this. It needs skill, it needs creativity, and it needs ultimate fluency of the English language. Congratulations. Siapa tu? Katrina kah?
Yes, Katrina.
Wonderful.
There's not what Faza? Hmm?
What is wrong with the camera? It doesn't want to play. So you cannot see me today because the camera doesn't want to work. Sedihnya aku. Okay, horror. You guys really like horror kan? Okay, we do 3 saja. The rest of it, Fariza, you need to compile it and then you need to give it out to all the students, yeah, so that they can learn something from it. And then you
Okay.
tell them, to write an essay and submit to me, and I will give a
Mhm.
prize to the top 3. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Write an essay and submit to me. Okay? My heart skipped a beat when I saw a dark figure of an old lady by the window next to my room. I was thunderstruck. Wow, that's a very good word. When I saw her shadow standing in front of my door. Nice. Gilbert, Haikal, Flynn Taveron, and Amira. Good jobs. I was coming back from work late when I smelled a rotten, offensive smell when I walked past by her door that it actually gave me goosebumps. Nice. Brr, bam. Loud noise came from next door, followed by some slow music melody and the sound of a woman's crying. Nice one. Her face is as white as death. Ooh. And her age is as old as the hills. I felt the adrenaline rushing through my body as I ran into my room as quick as lightning. My neighbor told me that she used to be as fit as a fiddle before she disappeared. When she was around, her neighbors past tense, right, tended to not give a fig about her. Give a fig. That one not very nice to say lah. That one is actually a replacement of the F word. But maybe that's the original saying, give a fig. And then the modern saying, then they change it to the F word.
Yeah.
Well, very good. One more, one more. Which one is your best again?
What Faza? What?
So I would like to receive individual essays, yeah. Pass to your teacher. Your teacher will compile, yeah. Or you can just send to my WhatsApp. If you want to chat with me in WhatsApp, no problem. Okay. If you like writing poetry, you can also send it to me. I intend to publish a poetry book soon. So if you have any poetry you feel like sending. All right. This one is about, oh, zombie apocalypse. They break into cold sweat as they hear human flesh was devouring by you. Oh, as they hear human flesh devoured by zombies. They they heart miss their. What's the difference between they and their? Their heart missed a beat. You see, when you have you cannot have x di belakang, you know. As they were. Where is your verb? They were afraid of making any sound until they scared stiff. They were. Okay, so what's the problem in English? In English, you have these auxiliary verbs. Okay, what is an auxiliary verb? Yeah, it's actually the B5. So, present tense, you have what? Present tense, you have am, is, are. Past tense? Past tense, we have what? We have, yes, was and were. So, if you miss these auxiliary, auxiliary, auxil, auxil, I can't even spell the word. Go and research what is an auxiliary verb. Yeah, you very, very important. Because in Malay, tiada. Yeah. Dia is pergi. Tiada. He is going, right? Dia is memergi. Nah, lagi teruk. All right. Those survivals became shook like a leaf. Wow. Those survivals is not people. How do you change it to people? Survivors. Okay? Became shook like a leaf. Why you put the became if you already use the past tense shook? Okay? Those survivors shook like, and then here you have a problem of quantity. Can anybody tell me what is the problem of quantity here? Quantity. Can you see that survivors more than one person, right? Yes, Katrina. Okay, so those who wrote this, yeah, sometimes you have to think about the quantity. So, those survivors shook like leaves. Baru betul. Takkanlah ramai-ramai orang, dorang shaking macam satu leaf saja. Okay, as they afraid. As they were afraid. Okay. Of becoming the. What's the difference between a and the? Okay, so if you never mentioned here before, you have to use a. But if you understand the context and you're familiar with the context, then you use the. All right? Okay. Their hearts were beating like a wild animal trying to escape their chest as they watched the zombies swallow their prey. Okay, that's a good sentence. There is no hope because this is the end of the world. Rain fell like teardrops. The clouds are. Suddenly are. Should be past tense, right? The clouds were as black as a sweep. As black as a sweep. What is that? Each of them are. Change to each of them singular, right? Was. Each of them was dying each other minute, waiting patiently for their time of death. Are you sure they are patiently waiting? Is there anybody waiting patiently for death? I think it would be impatiently. They would rather die than suffer. The swarms of the dead bodies, walking and dragging their own flesh on the road, roaming around carelessly without any of their nerves and senses that are still young. Okay, the beginning of the sentence very chantik. Then I don't understand already. Carelessly without any of their nerves and senses that are still young. Okay, very confusing. Why did you put that are still young? Those creatures are zombies, devouring human flesh and their red wine blood. Mercilessly vanishing humanity from the surface of the earth. Vanishing is more like magic, so it's better to use destroying, yeah, or killing, murdering, yeah. Vanishing is not appropriate. Okay, the suffocating scent of a rotting carcass throughout the atmosphere is disgustingly strong enough to make anyone who. Okay, can you see the word anyone? Anyone? Anyone, we count it as one or more than one? Okay, then you see the next word who, right? And then after that is a verb. Okay, so basically the formula is 1 plus S. Even though in the middle there is the word who. So what is the correct version of that? Anyone who? Can anyone type the answer? Why is my camera not working? Yeah. I'm waiting for answer. Somebody type something. Anyone who? Look at that. Says there, enough to make anyone who sniff it. So it should be what? Subject verb agreement, you people. Okay, no, Claudia, good try, but no. So the answer is anyone who sniffs it. Must have S di belakang. Look at the second line after that. All of the humans, how many? More than one, right? All of the humans that. So you have the word that, but after the word that, what do you put? Yeah, that are still surviving. So it should be more than one. So it should be are still surviving. But then you see there's another word after that. The next word should also be singular. So more than one. So you should plus all of the humans. Oh, more than one, no S. Okay, so cramp is correct. Cramps is wrong. Yeah, so hard to teach you grammar juga sometimes kan, because maybe you cannot see the quantity. All right. Together to hide are forced to inhale each other's sweaty, whiffy odor. Okay, what's wrong with the spelling odor? What's wrong with the spelling odor? Anybody can tell me? Yes, why? Why is it like that? Why is it like that? What's wrong with the spelling color? Anybody can tell me what's wrong with it? Yes, very good, Danish. Yeah. Actually, it is American spelling. So in Malaysia, we try to use, yes, we try to use British spelling, which has the U inside. Otherwise, honor, color, odor, they all do not have the letter U in American spelling. Okay? Okay. So, yeah, for me to teach you grammar kan, I would have to teach you consistently for 2 years. Baru your English will be perfect. I once took a class from Form 4. When they started, most of them were C and D students with only 2 or 3 A's. And then when I finished, yeah, there were 22 students. When I finished, they got their SPM results, right? Out of the 22 students, 15 got A's and 7 got B's. See how amazing that is? Yeah. So the biggest difference, teachers, if you pay attention, the biggest, hugest difference is grammar. Because at the end of the day, they still want to look at accuracy. Okay? All right. So you need to balance lah, not all the time teaching other things. You need to focus on how to improve their grammar as well. Okay. So let's go to the reading. Yeah. I'll go to the tips later. Let's have a look at what the reading exam paper looks like. Yeah. Everybody still happy? I'm so impressed with your mind maps. Happy emoji, please. And teacher, can you send me the copy of the mind maps? You just compile into one PowerPoint and then you send it to me. Okay, yes, it's so boring. Everybody type something else that is not yes. Type, of course, for sure, indeed, exactly. Yeah, or you can say marvelous, wonderful, fantastic. Type something that is not yes, please. Fix your vocabulary. Alpha, so cute. Extraordinary. Nice. Awesome. My daughter says you can't say awesome. You have to say awesome. Yeah. If you don't say it with style, you better not say it, she says. The rest of you, nothing to type? Okay, I'm going to enter using my handphone as well so that I can switch on the cam. So kesian. Wait, I try first. What is that word? YESN apostrophe T. Apa itu? The rest of you, nothing to type? Is a meme. Oh, okay. My daughter is good at memes. You people, young people, very confusing me. Okay, I'm in. I'm gonna switch off the sound. Oh, I'm switch off the cam. Let me look at the chat. Oh, wonderful. Wait. Switch off. Okay. Is it echoing? Is it echoing? Not really lah kan? Okay, so I'm going to show you this. Why I cannot switch off the sound on this? Give me a second. That's the problem with technicality. It won't let me switch off the sound. Very strange. Oh, I see. Okay, somebody chat. Can't see the chat anymore. Okay, let's start. All right, so this is the reading paper. I'm going to switch off the camera also. Can somebody write something in the chat? Top of the morning to everybody. All right. Let's expand this so that you can see. Okay, SPM 2021. This is how it should look like. You should congratulate yourself because you are the guinea pigs. Yay! Is it nice to be the lab rats? Okay, the first part, question 1 to 8, right? Choose the best answer, okay? So the purpose of the advertisement is to what? So in the past, they were asking you about content questions only. But now they are more into critical thinking questions, okay? Meaning to say, yeah, you don't just answer, okay, what is the name of the book? Book of tea, okay? Where were they? They were at the Good Morning Tea Company. That is very, very low level questioning style. So now they're increasing the critical thinking skills by asking you questions like, what is the purpose of the advertisement? All right. So you see, you have tea is a work of art, requires a blah, blah, blah. We at the Good Morning Tea follow the same tradition, allowing tea drinkers to appreciate the art of the tea in the purest form. With characteristics of the finest Highland teas, our latest tea has been perfected. Okay, so what is the answer for this? Everybody type the answer. Is it to introduce a new tea product, to tell consumers how to identify the good tea, or to improve the sales of tea from the Highlands? Introduce a new tea product. Are you sure? Yeah? Okay. So Henrik, no, it is not trying to introduce a specific new tea. It is actually trying to improve the sales. Yeah? Okay, so this company is trying to tell you you need to drink tea to appreciate the art of tea. Okay, so the answer is actually C. That is the real purpose of this advert. The next one. Okay, which statement is true? So when you have true or false questions, you have to ask yourself, what evidence to prove that it is true? All right. So look here, the National Science Challenge registration now open, calling all Form 4 students. So what do? Do you read this first, the advert first, or do you read the question first? What do you do? So this is a very important tip. Actually, you should read. Very good. Read this one time, then read this, then read the question again. Okay, so now the final four teams will go against each other. So you need to ensure that it's actually four teams. It is an individual event. Is it a team event or individual event? And winners will get an award at the prize award ceremony. So read this one carefully and put your answer. Bujang Madi, where does it say it is an individual event? Can you not see four teams? The four teams. Ato ko, second question, you already make mistake ka? Winners will get an award at the Nobel Prize Awards ceremony. Okay, so Katrina, can you tell me why you chose C? Okay, so you change your mind. Yes. All right. They are going to the ceremony and they are the champions, which means they are the winners. But the second place is also a second place winner. But they will go on a short study to Tokyo. Okay? So sometimes the answer is not written, and this skill is called inference. Anybody can type the word inference? How do you spell inference? Very good. Can you Google the meaning of inference? Somebody Google the meaning of inference? Oh, so the answer is A, yeah? Because it's very clear here. It says the four teams which make it to the final stage will compete. Okay? So the answer is A. Go and find in the internet the meaning of inference. Yes. Inference means looking at the evidence that you have, you come to a conclusion, but it must be based on evidence. Very good. Yeah. Solizurzi, I cannot pronounce your name. Erica. Okay. Well done, Erica. All right. So let's look again at the question type. Yeah. Part one. See, this is a advert. The next one, this is also an advert, maybe in a poster. Yeah. How about this one? Launching in February, customer notice. This is not an advert. This is a notice. Okay? All right. So it says there free rides, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. All right. Next one. Sunrise Theme Park Merdeka Day voucher. Get a 25% reduction, terms and conditions, and voucher code. So what is this? Is this a notice or is this an advert? Advert. Can you see the question type is still the same? Which of the following is true? Yeah? Which of the following is true? Okay. The notice of the student says that, so this one is looking for main information. I want to teach you the skills, yeah, because every time you see the questions, the content will change, but the skill remains the same, okay? So attention to all students, do you have what it takes to be a team player? Make our school proud. Join us in the 5 km race. All right. So this is about a race. Suddenly, you have this question. Which of the following statements is true? Nick, I'm already here. Sorry, Julie. Give me 10 minutes. Traffic is terrible. I know. I only got here 5 minutes ago. I'll wait. The movie starts in 5 minutes, though. Why don't you go in first? You have your ticket, right? Or we can catch the next show. It's fine. I'll get snacks. The adverts usually take 10 minutes anyway. What's the answer? Type your answer, people. Henrik, you seem to be choosing the wrong answer. Katrina. Okay, what is the skill? Henrik, are you sure that Julie went inside already? No, she didn't go inside. So she's actually still waiting, right? What does it mean? It's fine. I'll get snacks. Okay? She went inside first. She hasn't gone inside. Goodness, I think your reading skill a bit apa. Very good, Flint. Okay, so how did you come to the conclusion? What skill did you need? What skill did you need? Can you find the answer directly? Can you find the answer directly? No, right? So what skill do you need? What is the skill that you need? Baru saja ajar. Very good. Thank you, Katrina. You need to infer, yeah? Your inference skill should be there. Look, Nick, I'm already here. So even though she was affected by traffic, Nick is more affected by traffic because he says he will be 10 minutes late. So A is not the answer. Cancel. So this is another skill that you need. It's called elimination. All right? The next one, I know, I only got here 5 minutes ago. I'll wait. The movie starts in 5 minutes. Can you see she said, I'll wait? Okay. Why don't you go in first? You have your ticket, right? All right. So look at this one. You have your ticket. Means to say he has his ticket and she has her ticket. So is B correct? No, right? Because Julie doesn't need to get another ticket for Nick. Nick already has a ticket. And the last one, it's fine. I'll get snacks. Like Flynn said, they're selling the snacks usually outside, right? And she gives the reason that she will wait outside because the movie usually starts late. How do you know? Because the adverts usually take 10 minutes anyway. So when she says it's fine, what does she actually mean? Yeah? So what does it actually mean? That it's okay. All right? So which one are they doing? Are they doing C? Are they doing B? Or are they doing A? Which one? Choose another answer. Are you sure it's C now? Nah. You see, I tricked you guys and you still believe that C is correct. Thank you. And the only person who's correct today is Nur Alia. The answer is A. Yeah? Julie will not give the ticket to Nick because Nick already has his ticket. And Julie and Nick are going to watch the movie even though they are late because the adverts start 10 minutes late anyway, and she is waiting for him while getting snacks. So the answer is A. Can you see? I know. I only got here 5 minutes ago. See? Both of them were affected by the traffic. Yeah, so you need to read very carefully. Even though I tricked you just now, okay? But you have to ask yourself what is right and what is wrong. Okay, so we have adverts, we have notices, then now we have dialogue. Yeah? Another question number 7, another advert. We are hiring sales managers and so on. And the last one, Kuala Terengganu, schools in the area have been given the green light by the Terengganu Education Department to delay schooling hours. Okay, can you tell me all the types of text that they use in part 1? There are 3 types of text or 4 types of text? 4, right? The first one is advert. What are the 3 more? What are the 3 more? Type it out. So you have adverts, advertisements, yeah? Advertisements, what else? Dialogue, news article, advertisements, one more. Najlia, good job. Well done, Najlia. Yes, Sarina says notice, okay? So everything in the plural, please. Advertisements, notices, dialogues, or news articles. Somebody type that out nicely. Advertisements, comma, notices, comma, dialogues, and news articles. Don't forget the letter S because S is very important. Otherwise, you cannot identify the quantity. Okay, let's move on to part 2. All right. So, the pangolin. Read the text below and choose the best word for each space. For each question, mark the correct letter. So all you have to do is look at this, yeah, which is the choices given. So at the moment, everything's very easy. All the answers are given. You just have to select A, B, C, D. Okay. The pangolin, often referred to as an anteater, is an animal usually found in Asia. Okay. Number 9, look at the choices. If, despite, since, although. What is the correct answer for this? If, despite, since, although. What is the best answer? If, despite, since, although. Okay, why? Okay, why? Why is the answer although? Because there is one positive statement and one negative statement, or there is one negative statement and one positive statement. So you see, this is the negative statement. It is sometimes mistaken to be a reptile. So the positive statement is, it is in fact a mammal. So the answer is although. Okay? So I want you to look at the skill that is required. If you are looking at the sentence structure, this is what we call syntax, yeah? If you look at the syntax. So if you can see one is positive, one is negative, this is actually a contrast. So when there's a contrast, we use the term, yeah, the linker, although. Okay? Perhaps the most surprising and disappointing something about the pangolin is that it is the world's most traded animal. Traded means people sell this animal because they say if you eat it, you get magical powers, which is ridiculous. Okay? All right. So now let's look at the answer choices. We have fact, news, reason, information. What is the best answer? Fact, news, reason, information. Choose answer. Everybody try. Good. Fact. So looks very easy, right? Yeah, because usually the first 2-3 parts of this essay, of this reading test is actually very low level. Yeah, it's still A2 to B1 level. This is to make sure that most students can answer the questions. Yeah. Unless you're very new to English, then you will show the examiner that you can't answer the question. Yeah, means your proficiency is A1, A2 only. Okay, so now I want you to focus on the answers. What is the difference between these answers and all the exercises that you have done previously, okay, using this style? That means there is one petikan, one passage, and then all the choices here. Can you see there is a very big difference between this passage and the one you did in PT3? What is the main difference? Can anybody tell me? What is the skill that you need? Can anyone tell me? For example, do you remember in the past, you see the answers, right? The answers are always like this. Find, finding, found, had found. Do you remember? So what does that tell you? Nobody knows? Okay, let me tell you the answer. In the past, when you did this type of questions, yeah, one passage yang banyak missing blanks, right? Actually, they are testing your grammar with a few vocabulary questions. But here, all the questions are vocabulary questions. They are not testing grammar. If you see the grammar, it should be ing plus ed, has, have, had. That one is testing grammar. So what is the point? The point is to improve your vocabulary. See? Did you know that? You didn't know that, right? How about this one? Suddenly it has 2 words. What is it testing actually? Okay, it's actually testing prepositional phrase. Okay, moving on. Part 3. We're not going to read the text, but I want to show you that part 3 is a whole text. It is a factual essay, or is it a story? What do we call story in English? Yeah, if we don't want to use the word story, What is a synonym for story? Starts with the letter N. Does anybody know? Very good. Yeah. It's called a narrative or a narration. Good. Okay. So look at the question style. In paragraph 2, why does the writer use the phrase happily watching her in action? In the past, right, when you were asked questions, what is the color of the house? The color of the house is blue. Where was the house? The house is the second house on the corner of the street. So basically, all those questions last time are content questions. What kind of question is this? Why does the writer? Why does the writer use? Is it a content question? Not really, right? Because it's not a direct answer. So now you realize that passage number 3 is getting harder because it is focusing more on critical thinking skills. It is focusing more on inference. Yeah? Happily watching her in action. What can you infer from this? Okay? So when you are happy, you usually enjoy. Yeah? Okay? But does it mean she enjoyed being helped to the mother, or does she feel contented? Does she feel admired, that she admired her mother's cooking skill, or she found her mother's routine amazing? What do you think is the answer for this? Happily watching her in action. So now you know that the questions are a little bit tricky because they will not exactly write it in the passage, and you really have to use the skill called inference. Number 19 was the answer. Everybody put your answer. There's so many students. I want to see everybody try to put the answer. The rest of you, where? Wow, looks like a war between B and D. Tiba-tiba Alia change to C. Okay. All right. So the answer is B. Okay. Happily watching does not mean that she admired. Yeah. She was happy. She was very contented just to be with the mother. Did she do anything? She didn't do anything. She's not helping her mother. Yeah, she's not doing anything. So she's just happy to be there. So the answer is B. In paragraph 3, what does the writer say about her mother's character? In paragraph 4, how did the writer describe their new life in Singapore? In paragraph 5, what was the proof? Wow, they're asking you to look for the evidence, the proof. What effect did the moving to the new apartment have? Why had preparing meals become more pleasurable? How does the writer feel? Wow, you have to ask about the feelings of the writer. What is the purpose of the writer? So now that you've seen the questions, you know that number 19 until number 22 will go paragraph by paragraph. See, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4, paragraph 5. And then later, they will ask you very high level questions, yeah? Not just what questions. What is content? They will go into why questions and the writer's feelings as well as the writer's purpose. So can you see there's a very big difference in the way they ask questions now? Do you like the old style or the new style? Actually, the new style is more organized. Don't you think it's more organized? Yeah, last time you look for the answers, you want to pengsan, right? Because you don't know which paragraph is in the answer. So here they're very specific, paragraph by paragraph. But the quality of the question gets harder after the fourth question, yeah. So you have content question, and then you have more critical thinking questions. Okay, got it? All right. Let's move on to part 4. I don't like the echo. Can you hear my echo? Okay? Not much? Okay, good. So let's look at part 4. Does it look familiar to you? It looks familiar, right? So you actually have to choose the correct sentence that are missing. Yeah? And there are how many? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentences that are missing, but there are 8 sentences that are given. Okay? Why are there 8 but there's only 6? Can anyone answer? Why are there 8 answers given in the box but there's only 6 missing? The purpose is to do what? The purpose is to confuse you, right? Okay, because these are called distractors. Yeah? The idea is they will distract you. There must be 2 distractors that really distract you to choose the wrong answer. So this one looks like the PT3, same concept. You fill in the blank with the missing sentence. So my question for you is, what are the skills involved when you choose the answer? How do you choose the answer? Okay, I want to teach you a skill called anaphoric and cataphoric. So I'm going to pop to my other PowerPoint. Okay. What is the meaning of anaphoric? Yeah. Use the anaphoric reference or cataphoric referencing technique to find the answer. So anaphoric means look before and cataphoric means look after. See? A study was conducted on 200 Malaysian respondents. The researchers conducted the survey by giving them questionnaires to the answer. The word them refers to. So you see the word them, if you have to look before the word, the keyword, this is called anaphoric. But if you have to look after, you have to scan the words after, then this is called cataphoric referencing. Okay? So, now that you understand what is anaphoric and cataphoric, let's try one of the questions and we figure it out. Okay, let's try number 29. The activity that had the most impact on me dealt with learning not to judge others based on looks or position. This is called anaphoric. To answer question 29, we have to check before the sentence. So cataphoric, this approach is not only useful for me as a prefect, but also in everyday life. So without looking at the answers first, how do we find the evidence, the clue? Is it in the anaphoric or is it in the cataphoric? Is it in the anaphoric or in the cataphoric? Okay, anaphoric or cataphoric? The clue is in anaphoric. Are you sure? Where is my PowerPoint? I'm not supposed to be showing the PowerPoint. Okay, this approach is not only useful for me. So the clue is actually this one, this approach. So now you need to find a sentence that is talking about a specific approach. Let's look at the choices of the answer. What do you think is the answer? Everybody put your answer. Which one is the answer? Okay, we look at the two sentences. The activity that had the most impact on me dealt with learning not to judge others based on looks or positions. This approach is not only useful for me as a prefect, but also in everyday life. So we're looking for an approach. But if you look at anaphoric, it has to do with dealing with learning not to judge others. So what do you think is the best answer? Choose your answer, please, everyone. I can't see the answers. Is anybody typing the answer? Okay, F is not the answer. Okay. So you see again, the activity that had the most impact on me dealt with learning not to judge others based on looks or position. And then this approach is not only useful for me as a prefect, but also in everyday life. Last chance to change your answer. Very good, Danish. Okay? All right. If I'm not mistaken, the answer is A. All right. So what am I trying to teach you today? Yeah. I'm trying to teach you the skills involved. Does anybody remember the skills involved? Number one, inference. Number two, anaphoric and cataphoric reference. Number three, elimination. We try to eliminate the wrong answer. All right, let's take a break. Okay, put an emoji for sad. What kind of emoji can you use for sad? Let me have a look. What kind of emojis do you have? Teacher Wailin, are you still there? Am I supposed to touch on listening also? Do we have time? We don't have time, Bakan. We just do reading lah, huh? Alia, is that sad? It looks like you're having a crazy time rolling around. Okay, all students, come on, let me see your sad emojis. Oh, so sad, Rizrul. What's that? It looks like checkmate, Danish. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't get it. The hand sign. What does it mean, Danish? Alpha, I cannot see yours. Oh, look at that, Michelle. So simple, but it looks so real. Poker face, but with the gesture. What is the gesture, Danish? What does the gesture mean? Flynn Veron, having noodles does not mean sad, okay? Alia, I can see that you're crying. Oh, that's so cute, Alpha. Oh, broken-hearted Hafizan. Mengsedih gesture. I don't get it. Mengsedih. Okay, so part 1. What's the tips for part 1? Alala, what a sad cat. Okay, what's the tips for part 1? Part 1, you need to know the text types, right? So there are at least 4 types. Remember? Adverts, notices, dialogue, and news. Okay? How about part 2? Part 2 is actually about vocab. It's not about grammar. Part 3? Part 3 was what? What was part 3? Come on, tell me what you remember. Part 3. Part 3 was a narrative, right? Yeah? Paragraph by paragraph, right? Narrative. And then you need to go and check inference. Good. Part 4? What was part 4? Part 4 is about referencing skills. Anaphoric versus cataphoric. Okay? So now we reach part 5. All right. Questions 33 to 40. We interviewed 6 teenagers about what community service means to them. Read the text below and answer the questions that follow. So the tip is highlight the title, Teens on Community Service. So Shah says he's 16 years old. Opportunities to volunteer are everywhere, even right in our own backyard. I started with something that I really believe and have an interest in joining a project that gives free tuition to the little kids from a few poor families in my neighborhood. That experience taught me to be more compassionate. Okay, so Julie, this is what she said. Yeah, she helps out in an animal shelter. C. Hock Lim, he goes to an old folks home. Amelia, 13, did a class project. Jeremy, 15, yeah, going to the children's home. And Ida, 17, local library to set up a story corner. Okay, so these are all their volunteer activities for the community. So you have 2 different sections, yeah, and that's the last part, yeah. So question
Madam,
33, yes,
sorry,
yes.
madam, cannot see the slide.
Oh ya kah?
Mm.
Happily talking but didn't share the slide. Pandai. Wait give me a second. Okay. All right. So questions. We go back to part. Okay, go back to part 5. This is the last part. So you have 5 parts to your reading paper, yeah? Questions 33 to 40. We interviewed 6 teenagers about what the community service means to them. Okay, so Shah says, yeah, he joins a project for giving free tuition. Okay, how do you pronounce this word? Yeah, this is the most mispronounced word in Malaysia. Everybody says tuition, tuition, tuition. That is the wrong pronunciation. Okay, I want you to Google this later. Okay, I'll ask you again later. Julie says she helps out in an animal shelter. Hop Lim says he goes to an old folks home to volunteer. Amelia says they did a class project. Jeremy says that he goes to children's homes. And Ida says that she set up a story corner in the library. Okay. So what do? All you have to do is just write, yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F. So you have choices. And look at the statements. I did not enjoy the work initially. So here they want you to understand what is initially. Okay, initially means in the beginning. So who did not enjoy the work initially? So you have to read very carefully and try to identify who didn't like it in the first place. Okay, all right. When you read from the top, yeah, to the bottom very quickly, when you read very quickly from the top to the bottom, what is this skill called? Skimming or scanning? When you read very quickly from the top to the bottom, this is called skimming or scanning. Ayah, so susah. I cannot see. I do this lah. I do my normal way. Katrina, correct. Alia, correct. Tuition, but it's actually CH. You tuition. Yeah, you go to Google and then you click on the audio icon and you can hear that it's not actually T. It's actually CHU, tuition. Okay, coming back here. When you read very quickly, is it skimming or scanning? Okay. The first thing you do is you skim. You read very quickly. The second thing that you do when you look at the statements, yeah, I did not enjoy the work initially. You actually have to scan for the answer. So skim first, very quickly to search, to understand the whole paragraph, all the paragraphs you skim. But when you want to find the exact statement, this is called scanning. Okay, so I did not enjoy the work initially. Can you scan which is the answer? Maybe I have to make it a bit smaller. Can you find where is the right answer? Answer this question. Who didn't like it first? So the trick is to understand the vocabulary inside the statements. Yeah. So the statement was, she didn't enjoy it initially. So they want to test whether you understand the word initially. Initially actually means in the beginning, in the beginning. Can you choose the answer? Where's the answer? Okay, Danish, why do you say it's Julie? Why? Scan for the right answer. Which sentence is the evidence, the proof? The rest of you no answer? Your skimming and scanning skill very poor, very slow. Danish is the fastest. Yes, the second sentence, right? At first, I didn't know many people at first I didn't know many people there and wasn't very enthusiastic. See? So this shows you that initially she didn't enjoy it. Okay? Pandai. Okay, next one. I organized my work by myself. I organize my work by myself. How? Who? Which one? So which is the answer? Which one? Which one? Skim and scan. Now you need to scan. Scan for the right information. Skim is you baca satu kali just to understand. Okay, after you skim, now you scan. The question was, okay, so it takes a little bit more time to skim and scan, yeah. Why? Katrina, why is it Aida? Katrina, why is it Aida? Come on, everyone, you need to be able to find the evidence. Where is the evidence? Scan the evidence. And the evidence is, yes, tengok. I hope that one day my classmates will join me. Kesian, dia buat project dia sendiri, satu orang saja buat. She's all alone. Okay? I organize my work by myself. Wow, interesting. Okay. Now, let's look at the last 4 questions. Complete the notes below using information from the text. Choose no more than one word. That means the word is already inside the text. All you have to do is fill in the blanks. Those who are interested in working with animals could help out at a something something or zoo. Could help out at a something something or zoo. Let me paste that. Okay? So, try again. What is the answer? Can you see the keyword here is animals, right? So who is the one working with animals? The one that is working with animals is Julie. So you focus on Julie lah. Which word in Julie's statement here should be inside here? Can you see the word or zoo? When you see or, that is a clue that it is actually a place. Either a zoo or another place. So can you give me the answer? What is the answer? No, only one word, Katrina. If you write 2 words, you tiada marka, kosong, kosong. Be very careful. Plus the fact that it says a. If you put a animal shelter, it is wrong because it's 2 words. And it is wrong because the grammar is wrong. Why? Because you cannot put a animal. It should be an animal. Is correct. Okay, so the lesson that you learn is that must use only one word and must be grammatically correct. You also learn that you can see the clue. The clue is from the term here or the zoo. That is the clue. Okay? Okay. And we do one last one. Try not to think too big. Do something that will make the lives of the needy more something and happy. Wait, let me try to copy this. Copy. Let's put it here. Paste. Okay, we do one more. Okay. Okay. So I'm more interested to teach you the skills because every time you see the exam paper, the questions will change, but the skills remain the same. All right? What's the answer? To make the lives of the needy more something and happy. Can you see the clue? And happy. The clue is and happy. So you're looking for another adjective. Anybody else? Katrina, where do you find the word joyful? I'm scanning, I cannot find. Okay, Danish, there's no such thing as more easier. If you have easier and easiest, you cannot put more or most in front. So definitely easier is not the answer. Okay? I'm looking for joyful. Where did the joyful come from? Yeah, try to remember, Danish, if the word has EST or IER, you cannot put more or most in front of it, okay? Katrina, can you tell me where is joyful? I cannot see joyful. So cool. Hi, yeah, Katrina, you're giving me a headache. I've been searching for the word joyful. Macam tiada saja. Remember that you're supposed to use the words inside. Okay, where's comfortable? Who put comfortable? Danish, mana sudah? Did you put comfortable? Where did you get the word comfortable? Bikin pening lah you all. Look at the statement. It says there, complete the notes below using information from the text. Choose no more than one word from the passage. Try not to think too big. Do something that will make the lives of the needy more something and happy. So what is the correct answer? The rest of you, are you still around or not? So which adjective should we use? So what is the answer? Yes, the only word that is relatable is meaningful. Yeah? Do something that will make the lives of the needy more meaningful and happy. Okay? So why is it so hard? Because actually you have reached the last few questions of the entire reading exam. So if they don't make the questions hard, then we will not know who can get the highest grade. Because if you make all the questions easy, then everybody will be able to answer it. So you need to expect that the vocabulary, yeah, question 37 to the 40, right, is actually vocabulary questions, yeah. And it is quite hard because if you do not understand the vocabulary, you will not be able to find the correct answer. Okay? Okay, so remember, not more than one word, and it must come from the passage. All right. So what are the skills involved in part 5? Part 5A. Part 5A, you need skimming and scanning. Also, look for clues in the statement. No, that is part 5B. Look for keywords in each sentence. And then part 5B, what is the skill involved? You need to be able to find the right vocabulary and then look for clues in the sentences provided, such as what? Example, and, or, okay? Is it a noun? Is it an adjective? Etc. Okay, so that is all I can share with you today for reading. Yeah, it is now 11 in the morning. We did have some technical difficulties. We started a bit late. Okay, before I end, I want to quickly show you the listening ones. And unfortunately for you, listening looks quite hard. But the good news is that listening is all objective, I think. Let me double check. This is speaking. Okay. Listening, you have part 1. Okay, the skills are almost the same, yeah? So it should be critical thinking skill, inference skill, elimination skill, and so on. Okay? Part 1, 7 different people talking. All you have to understand is, yeah, the main content. Part 2, Roy is talking about something, so only one person talking, and then you are answering question about content also. Okay? Part 3, you have 5 different people talking about one topic. Yeah, 5 different speakers, and then you identify which statement suits them. Okay? Part 4, yeah, you will hear Aslan talking about his experience, so only one person talking. Then you need to fill in the blanks. Okay, part 4 is actually quite hard. Why? Because when Aslan is talking, right, he is using his own script. And then when you look at this, you are actually looking at a different write-up. This is not Aslan's script. So you need to transfer the knowledge very, very fast. The only skill that I can give you here is that you need to copy notes. The first time you hear it, you should already start copying notes because he talks quite fast actually. So by the time you listen to it twice, it's actually very hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's quite hard to find the 10 words he's talking about when he is using a script that doesn't look like this script. So I find part 4 quite challenging for the students. Okay? Okay. So why is part 4 so challenging? It's because we want to find out who are the super students. If you don't have the challenging questions, then for sure you cannot be able to identify who is the real A's, and there will be too many A's, so they need to have very challenging question, and this is actually extremely challenging. All right? Yeah. Okay, that's all from me. Can I have an emoji if everybody is still happy to be here? Did you learn anything today? Did you learn something useful? Even though the session is so short? Yeah. Emojis, please. Yes. Oh, thank you, Hazami. I never see your name. Suddenly you said yes. Amira, good. Love you too. Alpha is happy with shiny eyes. What is Ivy doing? Oh, Ivy is doing cartwheels. So cute. Hi, Cal. Thank you for the love. I can't switch on my camera. Can I? Nope, something wrong with my camera. Michelle gave me a cute bird. Kikip. Kikip, why are you showing me? See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. All right, I really enjoyed this session because the students are very interactive. Yeah, alpaca. Where's the alpaca? I didn't see any alpaca. Alpaca, alpaca. I can't even pronounce that word. Oh, I saw it. So cute, Danish. So cute. You people are really, where do you find all these things? Adorable. Okay, thank you, Fariza. Thank you for having me. Sorry, my camera's not working.
Yeah, wait first, madam.
Oh,
Okay?
okay.
Yeah.
Try like
Okay, so thank you, Madam Audrey, okay, for the insightful ideas and techniques. So it is hope that the knowledge that gained today for paper one, reading paper and listenings, okay, will be put to great use by all the students. So, okay, I think we need to take photo first,
Yeah,
Madam.
I can't switch on my
Open your
camera.
camera.
I masuk again using my phone. Wait,
Yeah.
wait. Let me try again masuk with using my phone. Sekejap.
Saya nak guna kamera ni.
Wait, let me try to get in again. Switch on your cameras, everybody. Don't use open, yeah. Open means use screwdriver.
I think Cikgu Chia lah, Cikgu Chia.
Hi, Bujang. What are you doing with such a outfit? Okay, I'm trying to get in. Nobody's letting me in.
Oh, Cikgu Chia.
Vậy hả?
Okay, I'm in. But cannot see me also. Hi,
Hi
everyone.
everyone.
Eh,
Fariza, proceed.
wait. It's okay. I think okay, so we have come to an end now. So on behalf of all SNK Baru teachers and students, I would like to thank Madam Audrey for spending her time and knowledge with us. Thanks, Madam. It's okay.
Danish, why is gravity with you? Thank you, everybody. It has been a pleasure. Oh, that is so sweet, Jeremy. Thank you. Yeah, nanti when you get your SPM result, you can still chat with me, Tell me lah, what is your result? Mana tahu you got A+. Oh, Wailin, I think Wailin is having a lot of problems with her connection.
Yeah, with the mic also.
Okay, so anything else? Do we still stay, or is there any other things that's going to happen?
Cikgu Ratna?
I think that's all. Thank you, Madam Adri, for being together with us today, and also last 3 weeks, was it?
All right, later you send me the group picture if you already took the group picture, okay?
Okay,
Okay.
we will do.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody,
Okay, thank you,
bye.
madam.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Happy emoji.
Thank you, teacher.
I
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
like it.
teacher.
teacher.
I like the
Bye-bye.
emojis.
Thank you, teacher.
Hendrix emoji
Thank you,
so cute.
teacher.
Banyak lagi bunga for me. Hahaha, welcome. Bye. Bye, Bujang. You look like you're going to play PUBG or full uniform. Bye, Serena. Bye, Alia. Bye, Hendrik. Hendrik, I worry for you. Banyak salah your choices just now. Okay, Farizda, everything okay already? Shall I leave?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, thanks, madam.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.